Welcome to your yoga practice. It is Monday, January 27th. Let's go ahead and begin our practice today lying on the ground. So you can roll your spine out onto the mat or earth, wherever you're practicing. You can keep the feet on the ground as we come onto our spine. And maybe today you want to rest your hands on your body or open your arms out wide. Find whatever feels good enough for you. As you're settling in, I'll share our quote today. This comes from Dorothy Day. The greatest challenge of the day is how to bring about a revolution of the heart. A revolution which has to start with each one of us. The greatest challenge of the day is how to bring about a revolution of the heart. A revolution which has to start with each one of us. Let's see if we can soften any parts of our back body onto the ground a little bit more. So noticing here that right now the earth beneath you is supporting you. You can let just a little bit of tension go. Maybe imagine offering it or giving it to the ground, which can just neutralize it. And then shifting attention to the breath, seeing how that feels. Try to notice where in your body you feel the breath. For some of us, it might feel really present in the nose or the throat area. For someone else, it could be the chest, the lower lungs, the belly, the low back. And then keeping this invitation of softness, let's see if we can soften the belly a little more. And on your next inhale, let the belly start to expand like a balloon. Try to let the chest stay heavy. The air is just passing through the nostrils, passing through the throat, passing by the chest, going down to the lowest part of the lungs so the belly softly expands as that diaphragm muscle draws down. And then when it's time to let the breath go, the belly softly drops down. You could even imagine pulling it up a little bit. So navel dropping down towards the ground, then up towards the heart. And then soften again. Stay with this another couple cycles of breath. And you can also be allowing yourself any movement that feels natural. So I feel like I just need to rock my legs and my pelvis a little bit. Give yourself what you need. Notice if the mind has wandered, totally normal and natural. Let's come back for one more breath and then we'll get ourselves moving. As you're ready, draw your right leg in towards your chest. You can interlace your fingers over your right shin. See how it feels to stretch the left leg long. And a couple breaths here. Still try to do really full breaths. Now the belly's a bit compressed, so we'll meet some resistance. Let's just see if we can meet it softly. Keep expanding. The resistance doesn't have to stop the expansion, it might just kind of change the form. And then we'll stretch the right leg long and draw the left leg in towards the chest. Give it a squeeze. Give yourself a slow, full breath. Staying soft, that the body can kind of adapt and still let the breath come in just as fully. It might just spread out a little differently. And then letting it go, stretch both legs long, stretch your arms up overhead alongside your ears as best as you can. And you can kind of walk one shoulder at a time away from your hips. So we're trying to get longer and longer, point your toes. Big breath in, stretching here. When it's time to exhale, engage your core muscles to draw your knees in towards your chest. Sweep your arms around, let them come to hug the legs in. Maybe lift your head off the ground, tucking your chin towards chest. You can always keep your head on the earth. And we'll do a little bit more core work now. Inhale, stretch your legs and arms long. Exhale, hug everything in. Go at your own pace. If you know that this doesn't feel good to your body, or if it triggers any sciatica pain, then you can keep it much smaller, maybe having one leg at a time. Maybe just putting your foot on the ground instead of stretching your legs long. So I'm demonstrating that. I know a few of us sometimes get those sciatic pain flare-ups. Keep breathing. Two more breaths. Good. We'll all meet with our head on the ground, knees drawn in towards chest. You can rock side to side a little. And then feet on the earth, as close to your hips as you can get them. Peel your low back off of the ground. We're pressing our hips up towards the sky. Keep the back of your head pressing into the ground, so passing through bridge pose, then lower back down. Do that a few more times. I'm keeping my hands on my hips today, on my front hips. You can do that, or you can keep your hands on the ground, or even stretch your arms up overhead, how we do in flowing bridge. Inhaling to press the hips up. Squeeze your glutes like you're pushing them up, and then lower it all down. Again. All right, lower the hips to the ground. Last thing on our back, cross your right leg over your left, either figure four or crossed legs, and then draw your legs in towards your chest. Notice where you feel stretch sensation in the right hip. And then notice where you feel connection to the earth on your hips, your back body, your shoulders, your head, maybe some part of your upper arms. All right, let's unwind our legs, take the other way. So left leg over right leg, drawing the legs in towards your chest, moving around a little. And practice noticing the parts of you connected to the ground. All right, let's come all the way up and over to tabletop. So you might rock yourself up. You might need to roll over to one side to get there. And when you arrive in tabletop, a few rounds of cow and cat. So inhaling drops the belly down. Exhaling arches the spine up. As we breathe through this, check in with your hands, our foundation right now. Try to protect your wrists or respect your wrists by not putting too much weight into them. So we can grip with our fingertips, and that right away might feel a little shift away from the wrists. You could also walk your hands forward a couple of inches so it's not such a sharp angle. You could also come to fists or knuckles anytime. All right, when you're ready, find child's pose or any resting pose that'll give you a break, a chance to kind of reconnect. Arms can be upstretched alongside your ears, or you can rest your arms down by your sides. Breathing here. So we're towards the end of the month, this month of practicing awareness of ahimsa, of the intention of non-harm, non-violence in thoughts and actions towards ourselves, others, animals, and the environment. Just checking in with yourself. First month of a new year is nearly done. Let's find one thing to celebrate. Something that you are grateful to yourself for, something worthy of celebration. And just in case anyone out there is having a tough time acknowledging something that they're victorious in, just a friendly reminder that you're here now. Good. Let's go ahead and bring our hands up overhead again, rise up to tabletop, then we'll tuck our toes, hover the knees off of the ground. So we're still essentially in tabletop, but the knees hovering off the ground. Check with your wrists. Lighten the wrists, come to fists if you can't do that. Push the ground away. Imagine the spine lifting all the way up to the skin, to the sky. I'm thinking of the spine coming up through the skin to the sky. All right, one more breath hovering here, core engaged. And then on an exhale, start to lengthen your legs and press your chest towards your thighs, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take any movement that feels helpful here. So that can be coming in and out of the pose. You never have to stay in it, especially if it's too intense. Maybe it's swaying the hips around a bit. Good. All right, let's go ahead and walk our feet up to meet our hands. Uttanasana, forward fold at the top of the mat. Soften your knees here. Let your head get really heavy. You might even wobble it side to side a little. And then slowly twist it side to side. And slowly nod your head yes. On an inhale, push your feet into the ground, lift up halfway, sweep your arms back in space while you look ahead to the future. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up halfway. If you've got the space for it, sweep your arms out like an airplane. You could also bend the elbows. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway, sweep your arms forward, really engage your core here, and exhale, fold down. Next inhale, rise all the way up, reaching out and up, big stretch. Exhale, draw your hands down to your heart space, and then open your hands up to Padma or Lotus Mudra, so releasing your middle finger, ring finger, index finger, gazing into this lotus flower at your heart, imagining a wish of peace for yourself and others. Next, inhale, lift that wish up to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward and down. Plant your hands on the ground or blocks. Step your right foot way back in space. And we'll drop the right knee. You could keep the toes tucked or untucked. Press your hips forwards and down a little bit. And then imagine squeezing your legs towards each other. So then we're lifting out of the hips a bit. See if you can lift your arms up to the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, tilt over to the left. Maybe drop your left arm all the way to the ground. Right arm still really pulling up and over. Inhale, come back to center, both arms up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step yourself to plank pose. Again, in plank pose, imagine your spine lifting up to the sky. Push back through your heels. Remember, you could drop your knees anytime. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Point your toes back. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Maybe lift the hands. Exhale, lower down. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And release. Tuck your toes. Push up through plank and find downward facing dog. If you want a flow through Chaturanga Dandasana, you've got time to do that. I'll cue it, but you don't have to do it. On an inhale, you can come forward to plank pose, then forward to your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower a little, untuck the toes. Inhale, straightening your arms, lifting your heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, we can inhale, lifting the right leg any amount up to the sky. Look forward between your hands. Exhale, come to plank, right knee to right elbow. Give it a tap. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, tap. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step or swing right foot to the top of the mat. Take your time getting where you're going. There we go. Then we'll drop the left knee down, toes tucked or untucked. Press the hips forwards and down a little, sink into the joints, and then squeeze your legs together, lifting up out of the joints. Good. Core engaged. See if you can sweep the arms up. Big inhale, stretching up. Exhale, hinge over to the right side. So maybe now you lower the right arm. Let that left arm keep pulling up and over to the side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands all the way to the ground. Step yourself to plank pose again. Breathing in, breathing out, lower down. Point your toes back. 3 cobras. Inhale to lift your heart and exhale to release. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in, letting go. Tuck the toes, push yourself up and back. Downward facing dog, or take a break, or take a flow through chaturanga, inhaling to plank and forward, exhaling to lower a bit. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath or two wherever you are. Notice the parts of you on the ground. We'll meet in down dog if you're at rest. On an inhale, lift your left leg to the sky, any amount. 3-legged dog, look forward between your thumbs. Exhale, shift forward to plank, left knee to left elbow, tap. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, tap. Inhale, 3-legged dog, and exhale, step or swing left foot to the top of the mat. Breathing in, step your right foot up. Breathing out, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reaching out and up. When you get to the top, interlace your hands and then pull your knuckles up to the sky. Soften your knees a little bit. Feel your feet on the ground. So maybe there's a texture or a temperature they can feel. I'm wiggling my toes on the mat. And then you can let your feet come to stillness. Straighten your legs, push your feet into the ground. Pull your knuckles up to the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, hinge over to your right side. Inhale to center, and exhale, pull over to your left side. Inhale to center, exhale, lean back, so lift up and back. Inhale, center, exhale, fold all the way down. Hands touching the earth, step your left foot back, set up for warrior 2. On an inhale, cartwheel your arms up. Here we are in our warrior 2. Arms outstretched. We can give the wrists a little circling love here. And then flipping your palms to the sky, straighten your right leg. Pull your elbows in towards your sides, kind of a W shape. Inhale. Exhale, bend your right leg as you straighten your arms out. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, extend. Inhale, straightening your right leg. Exhale, bending, extending the arms. Do that a few more times. Good. All right, we'll straighten the right leg. Stretch your right arm up, reverse triangle. If you're feeling unsteady, you can always look to the ground. You can also make your stance a little wider or more narrow, whatever helps you. And then let's come back through center. Pivot on your right foot. So now our toes are pointing forward, hands can come to hips. With your hands on your hips, imagine using your thumbs to push your low back down. So we're kind of neutralizing our pelvic tilt. Inhale, lift your heart up. Then exhale, pour forward, folding forward and down into our wide leg forward fold. Bring your hands to the earth. Again, we can adjust our stance. We're never locked in to however we initially landed. We can always change. Some folks might want to grab opposite elbows here. Some might want to bend their knees. We're looking for, well, connection to the ground through our feet and maybe our hands, but some really nice decompression through the spine. So hanging upside down, see if you can pull your shoulders away from your ears and then let them drop. Do that a time or two. Good. Now take your time rising up. I'm going to bring my hands to hips and lift up. All right, arms outstretched, pivot on your left heel, bend into your left knee, so warrior two the other direction. Gazing over your left fingertips, bringing in some movement through the wrists if that feels nice. Option to bring your hands kind of like a beak, fingers and thumbs together, and then draw some circles that way. One more breath. And then palms facing the sky. Straighten your left leg as you draw your elbows in towards your sides. Inhale. Exhale, sink back into warrior two. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, warrior two, extending the arms out. Go at your own pace, several breaths. You can still be looking over your left shoulder. As the left hand extends, perhaps imagining offering. What can we offer from our hearts? And in the next couple breaths, as the left hand or both hands draw back in towards center, imagine what are we receiving? All right, the next time the left leg straightens, we'll stretch our arms out wide, then left arm up to the sky, reverse triangle. Good. Make any adjustments you need to. If your stance feels too wide, you can shorten it. If your balance is available enough today, you could look up towards your left thumb. One more breath. And then release. Let's pivot on the left heel. Hands to your low back now. Draw your inner elbows towards each other so the chest puffs up a little. Inhale to lift your chin towards the sky. Take another breath or two. Maybe you feel a stretch along the front of the throat. Maybe some effort in the neck muscles. And then when you're ready, pour forward into a forward fold. You can keep your hands on your low back if you like that. You could grab opposite wrists. You could interlace your hands and then lift your knuckles up to the sky. You could also bring your hands to the ground. Several breaths here. We'll say about 5. All right, let's bring our hands to the ground and bring ourselves into a seat. So you can just step one foot back, dropping your hips to the ground. Sitting up, imagine rooting your feet into, I'm going to imagine warm sand on this winter morning. Digging your toes into the sand, stretch your arms out in front of you. Lift your heart, engage your core as you lean back. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Option, just an option, to take some breath of fire. That's where we strike the navel back towards the spine and force the air out, and then it just naturally refills. So if you want to do that, go for it. Big inhale for all of us. And on an exhale, roll onto the spine. Stretch your legs and arms long, reaching your arms up overhead. Stretch your fingers and your toes. See if you can feel a stretch in your palms and in the soles of your feet. Another inhale, and when it's time to exhale, hug the right knee in and guide it over to the left side, so taking a twist. Come back to center, nice long stretch. And hug the left knee and guide it over to the right side. Full breath in your twist. And let's release onto our spines. Give yourself a moment of stillness. Notice any areas of sensation in your body. Trying to notice them with curiosity, with wonder, but with no judgment. Check in with your jaw, and if there's any tension there, gently invite it to soften. A little space between the teeth. Enjoy a handful more of breaths. The greatest challenge of the day is how to bring about a revolution of the heart, a revolution which has to start with each one of us. You can deepen your breath and just consider what you can do today to help keep your heart open. We can remember to practice non-judgment. Try to practice curiosity rather than judgment. We can help others, be of service to others. How to bring about a revolution of the heart. When you feel ready, let's release this practice. You can always take your time with this closing out portion. If you'd like to end together by chanting one round of Om, the sound of all sounds, all that is, We can join our hands together at our heart, lifting the heart, lengthening the spine. Big breath in to create your vibration. Om. Deep bow of gratitude to you for sharing your time and your energy. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you again tomorrow.